looking forward to with that?
Yeah, I'm coming out the series happy we got it done in 5. As I said before, I don't think we played our best basketball. I think some, like JT, played really well. We had some good moments and stuff, but overall, we can play a lot better, especially myself. And yeah, that's the feeling that I have from that series, and it's good we got it done pretty quickly to get few extra days for guys to rest their bodies, myself included, to heal everything and I go into this series in a even better shape than we went into the last one. And what do I anticipate? Yeah, and we've saw them a few times this year. Talented. Brunson, high level. Downs, high level. It's gonna be a challenge with those two guys, and they have good guys around them also. So, yeah, it's gonna be, I'm gonna give you a little bit like default answer, but it's gonna be a big challenge. We're gonna have to play hard and to match everything they're doing, and we'll see where we end up.
Is there anything still there with you for the Knicks, given that you played there and left and all that?
Like in terms of? No, I think I just always loved playing there. Honestly, I love playing there on the road. Yeah, my first couple games were pretty crazy there, with getting booed and stuff. But I think now the time has passed and it's not as recent anymore, and I've changed a couple teams already also. So it's from that perspective, it's it's just whatever. But I love playing there, honestly, and a lot of even just people that come to the games. Like I remember them from my first few years in the league, and I have a great relationship with them. And I say hi to them before the game, and talk some stuff throughout the game, and yeah, it's always fun to go up against them.
Kristaps, whenever Joe gets asked about like matchups and adjusting, sort of like what you said, to different teams you might face in the playoffs, he always comes back to like controlling the things you guys can control, like defending without fouling, rebounding, taking care of the ball. How much has that been emphasized this year and last year for you versus maybe other playoff runs you've had in other organizations?
Yeah, I mean, each team has their own identity, and things they want to do and how they see winning. So for everybody it's different, but for us it's this, and it worked last year for us, and so far we've been doing decently, and those are just the simple things we need to do right to be a great team. And that's also a little bit like small insight in Joe's mindset, and what he expects from us, and that's it. We have to do the small things, the simple things right, and then we'll be in a pretty good shape.
You say that every team has different things they emphasize, and this is what works for you. Why do you think that this is what works for like this group?
Again, we have all the talent. We have, a lot of like tricks we can pull out of our sleeve if we need to, but we want to build this run on a strong foundation. We don't want it to be, we pulled this one out somehow, some way, based off of JT or JB's talent, and they made some crazy plays, and we just close our eyes and hope it happens again. We want to have a good base as a team and do all the foundational things correctly, and then have that in our back pocket if we need it.
Kristaps, you guys, obviously you won the championship last year. You've been in the biggest moment. However, playoffs at Madison Square Garden between Boston and New York, two rivals, historic rivals, that has its own energy that you guys have never experienced. How do you avoid getting caught up in the moment of being on that MSG floor, looking around the bright lights, the crazy crowd and all of that stuff, staying in the moment, kind of playing within yourselves? You've already got a smirk thinking about it.
No, because you're like making it seem like we're just gonna get caught off guard like a deer. Like, oh my God.
I mean, listen, but you guys are human, right? You're human.
Of course,
that's an incredible atmosphere.
Right.
You guys talked about how much you love playing there. I mean, you guys are mentally strong. Like you said, you won a championship, but also it's kind of cool, and it's going to be its own energy. So like, how do you stay in the moment in that point?
No, it comes with experience. No, I can ask the same thing. They're gonna have to come here to Boston and experience this. You know, maybe ask them this question. You know, but no, we have the experience. You know, we have the experience, and of course, it's gonna be a big stage. It's gonna be Eastern Conference, the biggest stage. No, in Eastern Conference there can be. So it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna add more to the whole thing, and New York fans are always great. Boston fans are always super invested and there to support their team. And it's gonna be between the fan bases, is gonna be a war for sure. Some like, you know, even the videos that they put out and stuff like with the fans and stuff. It's fun, and it makes the rivalry even more fun as a fan and as a player.
Kristaps, do you think, having been on the other side of it, in some ways it's harder for them because they haven't reached, there's so much attention and so much spotlight on the Knicks, and they haven't reached the levels that you guys have experienced? Do you think there's a desperation or pressure that their guys are dealing with that is a little different than what you guys have just because of what you've accomplished?
Do they have more desperation than us?
From a macro level, because then there's the Knicks get all the attention that they get being in New York, being at Madison Square Garden, being the media capital of whatever, and they haven't reached a finals in a long time. They haven't reached a conference finals in a long time. Do you feel like that when we talk about the spotlight and so forth, is it almost harder what they're dealing with, and you having been part of that at one point, and the pressure that comes with that, than where you guys are now going into the series?
I don't know. I don't know how they feel and if they have this a huge amount of pressure. Honestly, just going into the series, I believe we're going to be the favorites in betting odds, right? So if anything, you know, it's us who have more to lose, you know, because we're supposed to win. But they're dangerous. They're dangerous, you know, and they're going in as the underdog, and they have whole New York behind them, and you know they have the capability, you know. So it's us that have to be on our A game and have that same hunger we had last year, you know, and we're showing it, and we're not defending what we did last year. We're trying to win another championship, you know, and that's going to be our mindset going into this and into the future.
KP, when you got picked, it kind of started this trend around the NBA of these really huge dudes being able to shoot from 30 feet, 32 feet, whatever it is. And now, obviously, going up against the Knicks, they have Karl Anthony Towns. They've kind of replaced your archetype in a way. I'm curious what your thoughts are on kind of the NBA kind of modeling the center position after you got picked, and also what you think it's going to be like going up against Towns in this series.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm guilty for this, but there was, you know, obviously people before me like Dirk, even Toni Kukoc, like, you know, European players that were shooters, and yeah, it's a part of my game for sure. And obviously me and Ket came in the league at the same time, so and he's been shooting the ball excellent throughout his career. And yeah, for sure, there's the next generation coming up. They're probably going to be, you know, even I don't know, taller. You see even Wemby, you know, taller, more athletic, better shooters, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just, you know, we are some of the players that definitely kind of maybe started a bit more of that trend, you know. So, and now also all the players are so skilled. Even the bigs have to be so skilled. So, and what else were you asking?
How you're ready to match up with him in this series.
Yeah. No, he's a tough matchup, obviously, you know, with the shooting and with his talent offensively. He's a tough matchup for anybody, and yeah, we again a little bit default answer, but it's going to take a team effort to stop him.
Kristaps, because of your journey and because of the team's journey last year and now into this year, how much do you rely on that experience? But what's the value of that experience, of your journey and this team with so many different options and guys relying on each other and knowing each other so well in a series like this and as you go forward?
Can you repeat again the first part?
Because of your journey and the team's journey the last 2 years, how do you use all that and that experience to prepare for what you're going through and go through on a game-by-game basis now?
Yeah, again, it goes back to the experience, the experience and the versatility of our team. So many guys that can step up on different nights and score 30. It's a big advantage that we have, Not many teams have this kind of a talent, and a lot of times I think, yes, of course, everybody gets their credit, especially because of winning, but a lot of times I think people don't realize that you take this player and you put him on a different team and everybody will be like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. And yes, we get the love, but it's also everybody sacrifice a little bit, and starting with the main guys, JB and JT, they sacrifice a little bit. If you put different pieces around them that maybe don't need the ball as much or don't shoot as much, they score 34 a game and whatever, and it's definitely sacrifice for the team, for the team success, and that's a privilege we have.
Kristaps, how did you make it through the physicality of the Orlando series? I mean, obviously, we're pushing you, trying to get you off your spot. There was a lot of physical play. And do you expect that in this series?
Yeah, we have to expect a high level of physicality, no matter who we play against, because that's the way to slow us down a bit. And I think we played a little bit, myself included, into their hands, Orlando a little bit. They just slow the game down, make it real muddy, and and then how to combat that is more movement, get off their bodies. Don't let them slow you down as much. And I think as the series went on, I did a better job of that, and there's going to be experience that I take with me going forward. But again, every matchup different, every coverage a little bit different, and we're going to have to go and figure out how New York is going to try to combat us and make the adjustments.